And charge. Let's go with a lightning strikes twice. Number 6 of 6. And I'm Casey. And that's Eric. We have one topic apiece, 5 minutes apiece, and go.
Okay, so I guess this is more of like a science and tech sort of topic. um, okay, so let's go back to dirigibles, airships.
Oh, huh. I like that. That's a very like Final Fantasy 2 sort of vibe to
Hmm.
it, right? Um, that would be actually super good for the environment, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well,
That's a
because they can take advantage of air currents and stuff to essentially move without using any energy, kind of like a hot air balloon. You change altitude and position, and the air currents just take you where you need to go.
so
And
you just kind of sail through the air.
yeah, yeah,
But then we'll get sky pirates. Arr.
that would be awesome. Oh man, now there was a movie. Oh man, there was a movie about that, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's like people think about accidents that have happened in the past. I mean, that kind of thing. But those that was a long time ago. We
Yeah.
developed far better technology, and well, we could use helium. That was the original thing, but of course, there's a shortage of
Heidelberg.
helium. Huh?
What wasn't Heidelberg like hydrogen or
The
something? And then
Hindenburg,
they're like,
yeah,
oh, let's not. Oh, Hindenburg.
yeah.
Hindenburg. Yeah.
Well, no, it had to do with the war, so they couldn't get a hold of helium, so they used hydrogen, which actually
Hmm.
is more buoyant, so it's technically better. It's also
Right.
very, very abundant, and you can make it just from water.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
you
you
can
just
make helium too. It's just,
it's just much more
yeah.
resource intensive.
Yeah.
But like hydrogen is the ideal buoyancy material for airships, and it would be kind of like almost like a cruise in a way. But they had envisioned a world where there were airships. I think the Empire State Building, the top of it was supposed to be a mooring station
Oh,
for zeppelins and stuff.
huh.
Like that is kind of cool. And yeah, for the environment, absolutely, you could transport a whole bunch of stuff with using very little energy, very little fuel, all the way across the planet. And all we got to do is make sure that, well, people don't smoke too close to the
I
the
mean,
bags.
well, you could have like little like ambulance airships, like a med zeppelin, if you will.
A
Uh,
med zeppelin, yeah. Oh well, that's true because they could actually remain aloft almost indefinitely until needed.
yeah,
I
they
mean,
just have
there's
like week long shifts or something where you just kind of like sleep in there and
yeah.
like act like the Coast Guard in the sky.
Well, and
Um,
they actually I don't remember which particular airship had this, but they had airplanes docked underneath, and they could
oh,
release the airplane down. So
oh
it was like
wow.
a kind of a military esque sort of thing, but you could use it for all kinds of purposes, emergency purposes, and just have an aircraft like hanging on the bottom, and you just crawl into it, and away you go.
Wow.
Like, they're also really there's kind of a romantic aspect to the airships. It's so God, they're so beautiful. It's just there's something so elegant about how they operate and how they
I,
look and stuff.
I feel like for no particular reason, the FAA would just make trouble though.
They probably
Um,
would. Yeah, they would.
yeah.
But
I mean, like there are important considerations to make around that and stuff that I mean, like could easily be solved with modern technology, of
yeah,
course. But
mm,
like, yeah, I feel like that would kind of like ruin a bit of the romance in a
it
way,
would. Well, yeah, government
because
always.
it's going to create limitations and stuff. And
Yeah, I guess it's more like the concept that I think whoever has the capability to get this ball rolling, um,
mhm.
I think we should do that. We should definitely be doing like huge airships, not like the Goodyear blimp. That's well, that's small. I'm talking like where you've got your own individual cabin. There's like ballrooms and all, like huge airships.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
that would be.
Well, yeah. Like imagine like you have all the time in the world and you want to fly over to Europe, but you want to like take your sweet time and
Mhm.
not be in a cramped plane seat for like 11 or 12 hours or
Yeah,
whatever. Like,
it, it'd be like taking a train, I guess, because it's a little bit slower. And I kind of like that because you get a chance to sort of see the sights and take your time. You're not in a big hurry trying to get somewhere like that. That's a good thing for the human soul, I think.
yeah. They could have like glass floors or something, so you just like
Yeah.
totally
Oh,
look
that's
down.
time, man.
Uh,
That'd be so awesome.
that's a cool idea. Yeah.
We should definitely do that. Well, okay, I guess it's on to you now.
All righty. Uh, I guess this is probably economy. Um, let's talk entropy versus appreciation. Why the hell do house prices always seem to go up?
Oof, man, that's annoying too. Like because
Really? Like
when I
it's the
was
only
young,
thing that breaks down over time yet still gets to be worth more money. Like
well, it's probably because there's only a finite amount of real estate, and you
but
have the you,
yeah, but there's tons and tons and tons of empty houses, like
there.
literally enough to house all the homeless people. So
The,
it's the supply and demand doesn't actually work
well, yeah, I
there.
mean,
At
you
least
have
not the way it should.
it
Yeah.
isn't well because it's not like a free market for one, and it's also turned into this sort of investment thing where companies
Mm-hmm.
will buy and sell properties from each other. And then you got the NIMBYs, you got the people who like want to maintain their value of their house or something for whatever reason. I guess they like paying high property tax. But that's the thing is like you, nobody like you can't build more. That it's very difficult to build more, and that's wherein lies the problem. And that really pisses me off because it's like I can't afford to purchase a house in the town that I grew up in, like in Tacoma. I cannot afford to buy a house in Tacoma. Like my parents could. That my dad worked at fucking Kmart and bought a house. You know, like
Right.
I mean, I can't do that now, and it's really
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you know what? We need more apartment buildings, uh, more houses, and things like that. But
Yeah.
the problem is, essentially the government makes it very difficult to build what is needed, and then when
Yeah.
they build the few that do get built, they turn into like luxury condos or whatever, and
Well,
there you go.
specifically, I'll say this specifically: the problem is that the government makes it too hard for people like you and I to build, but they open the doors pretty wide for these real estate moguls that are swallowing up everything and then just flipping it for a profit with minimal to no effort put into it.
Well,
And
they're
that's
keep in mind,
ruining the
keep in mind,
market.
they're not necessarily flipping it to the average person. They're flipping it
Nope.
to other companies. That's the problem.
Or rich people. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but I don't know that a rich person is going to spend $400,000 to buy a one bedroom house like the one next across the street from my house. That doesn't make any sense.
right.
But
Yeah.
the thing
Like,
is, people aren't
dwellings
buying.
should not really be like an investment tool, I think. You know, like,
That's what I was going to say. It's like a thing that's changed in our society where the perception of home ownership and property and stuff used to be like, hey, we're going to buy a house and we're going to live in it. This is the
yeah.
place, right? Or you might even purchase your grandparents' house or something, which is actually what my dad did. Well, he purchased his parents' house.
Yeah.
So it stays in the family, and it's long term kind of thing, and that it's just a place to live. Well, now it's not. People are like they want the prices to keep going up, so they have that value there. I don't
It,
know why.
that's
Like,
so dumb. That's so dumb because
yeah,
everyone's like, your house should be an investment that you'll have like all this money. And it's like, okay, let's say I need $500,000. Oh, I'll just sell my house. Okay, now where do I live? You
that's
know,
the
I
thing.
need
Like,
that 500,000 for something, but I also need to live somewhere,
well,
right?
you can get a loan. You can put your house up as
Yeah, that's a great option.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's
Well,
just a freaking money trap. Like,
Well, it is, and that's really the thing. It's a twofold, well, multifold thing. But I mean, one of the things that the perception that it's an investment, which I could show the math on that it absolutely is not an investment. At best, you're going to break even. Um,
mm.
uh,
I'll tell you what, here in Germany, you can't do that real estate mogul bullshit. Like I think you can own like two properties or something if you can show that like you legitimately live there a good chunk of the year as a vacation home or whatever. But you can't just like eat up all these properties and rent them out and just like screw over the little guy and stuff. So that's like an example of regulation that's actually working because it's preventing these people from making a bunch of money for doing essentially nothing. And
it could also be like a
well, and here's the thing:
sociological thing too. That
it places most of the value in the land instead of the house. So a lot of people buy a house and just tear it down and build the one they want because it's the land that is worth the money.
That does seem a little bit wasteful, though, doesn't it? Like maybe oh, damn it, that's tough.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. Like, I find it weird all the construction going on here with like there was a perfectly good house and then it's gone the next day.
They do the same thing. Japan, they do the same thing too. Like just tear shit down and build another one. It's like, okay, I believe in using things for as long as you can.
Yeah.
But man, that right there could totally be an absolutely could totally be its own episode.
Yeah. I remember we were driving from Tacoma to Seattle one time and we talked the entire time about that one topic and we were like, dang, we should have had like a highway microscopy or something like that.
Yep. Oh man. I know, man. That's a good one. And that like it's probably something that really needs to be sorted out. Because it's like one of the critical things, shelter, right?
That's a huge topic actually right now. It's like it's impossible to like afford to live anywhere in America.
Well, you add on all the other stuff too. Well, okay, let's reserve that for maybe an episode. Well, so everybody, hope you enjoyed this Lightning Strikes Twice, and tune in next week for yet another exciting episode.
Dirigibles.